replicas of Shinobi water tools, okay? The best I can come up with. They're not 100%, you know, applicable, more for looks, but nonetheless, everything here is created with pretty much primitive material, natural lacquers, pine resins, and stuff like that. Leather, wood, cattail, bamboo. It's pretty basic. So the material is not that extravagant, but how you put it all together is extravagant in my book. But first thing that you're going to see is the inflatable leather device, okay? It inflates. It's just leather. You sew it together. You lacquer it, seal it with different natural substances, and you can simply have a bamboo tube that you can blow the air into, and then you use it as a flotation device, just like a floaty, basically, ninja floaty, right here. Or the leather life jacket. I went for the one from the Rodanshu, but the leather float pops up in multiple manuals, the Bansen Shukai, the Ninpidin, you name it. So this is definitely number one on the list for a Shinobi flotation device, is the leather float. So again, inflated with air, I put my upper body weight on it and it went underwater, but it held only my upper body weight. It needs to be about double sized for reality, but nonetheless, it holds the water, holds the air in fine, and it does kind of hold me up, even though I don't trust it inside of the middle of a river. This is working, so. So I'm swimming and using these devices to get from one boat dock to the other boat dock, which is about the width of the average castle moat that you see in all over the internet. So I have space that I'm covering that serves as the example of castle moat, and then I'm using, of course, the historical example devices to do so. Very well buoyant. And if you guys can see all these tiny little bubbles. It means I have just slight air leakage. But nonetheless, it's holding well. I put all my upper body weight on that. I'm moving with the waves right now. Alright. So successful. Even though I could have, if bigger would be even more better, but this I consider a success. Successful. I was able to swim back and forth about 3 times. But then I do have a small, tiny leak right here at the top from bowling it around. I was rolling this thing up and stuff like that, And in the process of rolling it up, so I deflate all the air out, and then what I do is I've been rolling it like this. And it puts a lot of wear and tear on the seams that I glued together with pine resin and beeswax, etc. So I popped I wore a couple of small holes, but it's nothing that can't be fixed with a little bit more lacquer, a little bit more pine resin and beeswax. So all in all, the leather flotation device or the life jacket from the Rodon shoe, success. Alright? I derived the design and the method of making this from the Rodon shoe. So this is from the Rodon shoe, kind of technically. Now, the second device would be the water spider, one of my favorites. Okay? Basically, this thing can fold in half. You can carry it like this, or on your back, or whatever, however the hell you tie it to your body, but it's easily carried by simply folding in half. It only folds in half one way, like this, because there are metal hinges or metal brackets holding the other half in place. Leather seat. And in hair, with the water spider raft, you need flippers, the Ninja flippers. Okay? That let me untie these real quick. That only they don't go backwards, they only go forward. So this way you can shred against the water. So these are in conjunction with the water spider, wood, lacquered and sealed, or covered in leather of some sort, with leather seat. Okay, this is the water spider with the flippers. Let's do this. See? There's buoyancy there. Plenty of buoyancy. Barely holds me up, but it's just enough. The only thing I don't like is that it dips in the middle. I would like it if it was, and I might make one that's just has braces, because the way it folds in the middle, it dips in the middle and it wants to just sink like this. And it folds up on you as you're using it, I noticed. So I actually, it would be better if this was firm, because then it would only sink a little bit like this, but then it wouldn't close up on you. So, but nonetheless, another halfway successful, only because I need to make it better. Just like my leather flotation device, I could have made this as well a little bit bigger. It just barely holds me. It does hold me up, but it sinks down into the water like wood. And then it has enough buoyancy to finally hold me up. Maybe that's desired. I don't know, but I doubt it. I think I do need to make it a little bit bigger. But nonetheless, it worked. It did hold me up just out of camera view, unfortunately. But it did work. It acted as a float. It held my body weight, but barely. So think a little bit bigger than this compared to my body size, but think a little bit bigger than this and you'll be okay. Now the water spider, or this little folding raft here, is found in the Bansen Shukai. Okay, near the ending volumes of the Bansen Shukai, you have a list of multiple tools with images, etc., as you see here. As you can see, that's my little replica of that tool. This is my little replica of that pair with the flippers, also in pair with this. It even says in the Bansu Shukai to use the flippers in pair and in conjunction with the water spider or Mizugumo. Okay, nice. And then finally, I've been perfecting, and I keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger, but the cattail raft. This right here is simply bamboo, and or you can use thin slats of wood. A huge bundle of cattails, like you see here. Again, before all of this, though, you probably saw me making all of these items step by step. Now you're about to see them all in use. I'm going to go ahead and test float them, and we're going to see how well they float, how well they actually hold me, etc. All right. As you can see, I'm putting all my body weight on this pretty much, and what's going on is it sinks down in the middle, but because I have all of the heads, these right here, the heads of this actual cattail plant are all focused right here. That's the only thing I can't stand about this cattail raft, is this. It's all over me. I can't stand it. Nonetheless, I have my collapsing ninja paddle or water orb ready to go. pushing it down. See, I'm putting my body weight on it, put all my body weight on it, and it starts to want to sink. It just barely breaks the water line. But other than that, when I let up, it stays afloat.